Hey there, good morning. I'm John. Today is Wednesday, August 21st, 2024. This is my daily vlog, that morning ritual where I come in, turn the lights in the studio here and talk about what I've been doing, what I'm doing next, and how it's going. I'm trying to make content creation indefinitely sustainable. So we spoke yesterday. It was all about this topsy-turvy day where normally on Tuesday morning we do the podcast edit, but news was coming out. So I knew what the news was. I got a 2-day heads up on it. I knew it was coming, but I couldn't prepare because I had no materials. All I had was this press release, and I could plan for it and write an outline, but I really couldn't. I had to wait for video and images and final information and specs and all that. It was just like a press release was all it was. So while I knew it was coming and I knew when to put it out right away, when I recorded the vlog, I didn't say what the news was or even who it was about, although I was wearing an Atari hat and an Atari 50th anniversary shirt as a hint. But by the time I published my vlog, the news was out. It was 9 a.m., so it came out. So then I titled the vlog Atari even. So I think everyone, by the time you saw the vlog, you knew what the news was. So let's talk about that topsy-turvy day then. That's the point of this first part of the vlog. I did push the podcast edit by a bit. I was concerned how long it would take me to create the video, but because I had the heads up and was able to plan a little bit, in the morning, I took that news about the release of the 7800 Plus and the new controllers and the wireless stuff and all the new cartridges and all the things that dropped just like just a water balloon just exploded on Atari's site. I took all that stuff, bundled it together, and I created a news video, just a brief, quick, here's the news, editorial kind of thing, in about 2 hours. I got it done by 11 o'clock and published. And we could talk at length about news articles and how they do for us. But it's Atari, it's kind of this perfect storm, and I got it out very, very early. So that video has done tremendously already. Now, it's not evergreen. The announcement of this is not going to last forever. But overnight, more than 8,400 views on that video already. Look, there's so much more material that has come out of that now. That's going to be videos, as this product releases toward the end of the year. It'll be a glut of stuff to cover. So it's going to be a busy Q4. Yeah, so I think that was a good audible to call, obviously. So the nice thing is that because that only took me a couple of hours, I was really surprised. It was all about covering with B-roll, right? It was easy to talk about it, but then covering it up was find an element from here, an element from here, the still, that kind of thing. Oh, and by the way, you can't just save images off of Atari's store site. You have to screen capture. Because it doesn't display that way, so it's extra tricky. Then we did the podcast edit over on Twitch. Surprisingly, so many of you actually did show up a couple of hours late with me. I guess it's an hour late. It'd normally be 10. We started about a little after 11, and I hadn't touched the edit other than just to lay it on the timeline. We did the commercials and we did the full edit. About 1:30 in the afternoon, we got done, and so many of you did show up. Thank you. It made it super productive to get done. I still have to do the artwork and get it published today. We'll talk about that in a second. That's part of my wrap up for today to get it done. But yeah, so moving the pieces around like little building blocks and stacking the day differently didn't really interrupt the flow of what we normally do on Tuesday. And also a lot of you, both during the stream and I saw comments later, popped in and renewed your Twitch Prime sub. Thank you so much for that. Those little tips that you don't have to pay for really add up to the bottom line. So then I kind of took a half day. I did take a half day off in the afternoon because my dear friend was in the hospital. It was planned surgery that he had to go in for, but I went to hang out with his family in the afternoon during his recovery, and he's back home now. So Marcus, glad you're home and doing well. It was a good expenditure of my afternoon after a very hectic morning. Let's get to today in just a second. Let's talk about stats. On my little chart, I would like to be right in the middle at 10,000 views and 50 subscribers average over the last 7 days. Well, after several good videos in a row, guess what? we have crested over the 10,000 views. 10.8, in fact, almost 11,000 views average over the last 7 days, because we have a couple of really good videos hitting in the last 7 days. Subscribers still off the chart, over 150 or so, because of the big boost that we got with that anomaly. That's gonna calm down, I think. Again, calming down is a bad thing. I don't want it to go down, but some of it is kind of artificial through promotion, and as those promotions expire, it'll get back to normalcy. But a lot of it was also compounded by the good traffic on these videos that are getting 20 and 30 subscribers new just on the merit of that one video. So that has, in fact, brought us to another milestone, 2, in fact, almost 3. You believe that? Yesterday we were at 55, 2.5. Today we are not at 55.3. We're at 55,400 and a bunch, just about 10 shy of 55.5. So a huge development on subscriptions. As someone pointed out so accurately in the comments the other day, it's not about the subscribers. Right? Subscribers get us nothing. Subscribers are potential. It's the views that really matter. So those views going up are what I'm most enthusiastic about. So let's talk about today. Being Wednesday, it's often my regroup and writing day, and that's no different today. I'll finish up what needs to be done for the podcast so it's all done, published, tagged, all that stuff that I just, like the audio's finished, the edit's done, but I have to do the peripheral stuff. I'll wrap that up first thing today, get that published. Also, I have writing and graphics day. I have to get some work stacked for the rest of this week and going into next week. Most notably, I still haven't actually picked the Friday plays. I will know it by the end of today because I have to do it tomorrow, right? I'll have the thumbnail done. I'll have it all conceptualized, so I'll spend time today doing that. Also, let's see. Also, this evening then is I'll be live at 7 o'clock with Will and Kat on 1980s Now. That's on Facebook and YouTube. It's 7 o'clock Eastern, by the way. I don't think I said that. I'm in Eastern time zone. It's implied, but I don't always say it. Yeah, and that'll take care of my day today. Look, my day will be filled with writing and stuff like that. I'll maybe try to knock out a short if I can in here, but yeah. So it's rush. Wednesday is a recap and write and regroup, and then rush Thursday, Friday. So. At the end of the vlog today, I want Ted, a regular viewer, both on the main channel and here in the vlog, everywhere, actually. I see Ted all over the place. He commented yesterday saying, hey, would you take a second during an upcoming vlog to talk about all the places that you're doing things? Because I kind of mentioned them offhandedly. And it's not like hey, you need to go consume everything that I do, but it is interesting. And then I wrote them down, and I'm like, holy crap, it's a lot of different little stuff. So thank you for the suggestion, Ted. So real briefly, here are all the things and places that we have our fingers in that we are doing stuff. Me personally, first and foremost, every weekday I'm here doing my morning vlog. So of course, you ask on this channel, you know about this channel. The main channel, GenXGrownUp, of course, is where I focus the most of my attention and most of my discussion, because it's the place that has the highest potential for growth and revenue, and we're starting to see that growth happen again. We're actually getting back to where we were and start growing again. Of course, there's the podcast. That's been going almost as long, 7 years, or so, almost as long as the main channel. That's myself, Mo, and George. The three of us on the audio podcast, and you can get that either on podcast feeds if you just open, Apple or Pocket Casts or Spotify or whatever and search for us. But we also have a YouTube channel where we publish it for people that like to listen on YouTube. It's almost nobody, but there's a couple dozen people that prefer their podcasts on YouTube, so we have it there too. On the topic of YouTube, we have a couple of George's Pet Project channels. There's Rated Gen X that hasn't seen any traction in a while. And he was starting up a Drawn and Panel channel that hasn't launched. But we have a couple little things that are primarily George's little love children that he has worked on, but he hasn't had the time to devote to those. But you can see all those sub-channels linked in our recommended channels at the bottom of the main GenXGrownUp channel. Of course, we have Twitch, which could be anything, but every Tuesday, of course, we do the edit there. We go there if we feel like streaming a game or something that really doesn't fit with GenXGrownUp, because we don't want to muddy the pool there and do lots of modern stuff that doesn't really fit into the aesthetic that we have kind of molded. Then, of course, I spend all day on Discord. So on our Discord server, You can find it by going to GenXGrownUp.com/Discord. It's kind of like an old school BBS or forum, chat channels kind of thing with threads and discussions and things like that. I'm there all day long. I'm monitoring it all day long. I spend tons of time there. But then, of course, I'm monitoring the socials and posting. The most effective for us seem to be Facebook and Twitter. I call it Twitter still. I know somebody calls it X, but whatever, I call it Twitter. I get good reaction there, and it's a good place to connect with other companies and creators because they still pay attention to when you tag them. Then, of course, is our website, GenXGrownUp.com, which is Mo manages for the most part. He does the cross-posting there. And finally, the non-Gen X grown-up pieces. We just talked about 1980s Now. That's we're live every Wednesday, but the show is posted every Monday, the edited show. And Retro Days, which I'm technically a hired gun there. It's a paid gig that I do, but I'm definitely, they have welcomed me in and made me part of the creative team, so I'm not just a talking meat puppet. We discuss and have input into the projects that are launched there, and primarily I only really work for on the Celebrating Yesteryear, where I'm the host. They provide me a script. I read it, put some little flair to it, put my flavor to it, deliver it, and then we have an editor and the producer and the Anyway, it's a great production over there. And I'm probably missing some stuff, but that's enough, I guess. Those are all the little things, just like with revenue. You look for trickle sources of revenue. It's YouTube ads, and it's merchandise, and it's Amazon affiliates, and it's whatever little paths you can get. Advertising on the podcast, all these things. I also take that huge spread out view of get out there, things that you can, ways people can find you, and that's led to, other collaborations like Retro Days and 1980s Now, where I have, people have asked me before, and they're like, don't those things take away from your time of doing Gen X grown-up stuff? And I would argue, anytime they take away, they replenish me in terms of motivation, because I genuinely enjoy doing them. Wednesday night I'm busy, but it just means that it means that I'm more motivated to get to work Thursday because I had a nice time hanging out with my friends, doing the show on Wednesday night kind of thing, So it's not like it takes, while it does technically take time, the time it takes is rewarding, and so it actually keeps me more motivated than I would be if I didn't have those other outlets. So, a lot of rambling. Ted, thanks for the suggestion. I don't know, it's a 20-minute vlog. It was a lot of stuff. I didn't realize it until I wrote it all down to say it was a lot of stuff. So anyway, as I said, busy Wednesday. This is a lot. Busy Wednesday. I'm going to go ahead and get after it. Thank you again, Ted, for the suggestion. If you decided to pop in and check out today's vlog, thank you. If you're here every day, I love you for that. Thank you for being here. And any of the random things that I listed that you consume. I appreciate you. Have a good Wednesday. Be sure to do something good for yourself, of course. And I'll talk to you again next day. Bye-bye.